Good day, everybody, and welcome to another High Heat segment as we get you through the pandemic crisis and give you a little baseball along the way. Our pleasure today, it's gracing our program, and it's his birthday, is the one and only, one of the all-time great hurlers we've ever seen, is Greg Maddux, he of the Braves, of course, who has got a little birthday deal for America, and he says hello. Greg, welcome. Nice to talk. How are you today, okay?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on today. Looking forward to it.
There you go, birthday, and I know you got something for America with donations for good things here when we go through this crisis, this health crisis. Let's go there first. Take it away.
Okay. Well, I thought it would be a good day to help raise money for the charities. So I created a GoFundMe for people to help support causes that are important. So I want to support healthcare. I want to support food banks. So I've chosen Rady's Children's Hospital, Feeding America, and Candle Lighters. And I figured we'll match up to $54,000 of everything we get. So we'll try to raise some money and help some people out and try to make the best of a bad situation.
Excellent job. Excellent. And of course, on your 54th birthday, you can't do any better than that. You know, I was thinking, just made me think about it because of the fact the way you pitched, where, you know, you didn't have to overpower people and not necessarily have to get that arm all limbered up. How long would it take you to sort of resume spring training the way you threw the ball after, say, a couple of months? Would you need another full spring training, Greg? Could you do it in a couple of weeks? How long would it take you to come back after a hiatus that we've had here in a training camp situation?
Well, you know, I think spring training is a little bit too long in the first place. So I think 2-3 weeks, you could probably do it. You would have to continue to get in shape as the season went on.
Right.
You know, you would just kind of treat your first 2 or 3 starts of the season like your last 2 or 3 of spring training. So I think, you know, back in the lockout year, back in the 90s, I think we had like 2 weeks of spring training. And, you know, guys are young and in shape now that they can get ready probably pretty quick. And, you know, you just got to be careful those first couple games out and not, you know, extend guys too much.
You know, there's a lot of games that you love to get to here, and I'll get to a couple in a minute. The one I just thought of, the day game at Yankee Stadium, whenever it was like a Wednesday afternoon against the Yankees. You threw like 78 pitchers in the regular season, completely unhittable. You remember the game I'm referring to here or no?
Yeah, that was a good one. That was, you know, I pitched in Yankee Stadium like I think 2 or 3 times, and you're not going to forget those games at all. I think twice in the World Series, and I think once in Interleague, and very special place to pitch. You know, New York, the setting there is tremendous.
Phenomenal place, and that game you were just great. I mean, unhittable that day. What did you learn? First playoff game, Giants, and Will Clark had your number there in that little series with the Cubbies. And then after that, obviously, you found your rhythm. It took you, you know, obviously the team, 93 Braves. What did Greg Maddux learn postseason in that first start against San Francisco that you took into your career a little bit later on, which obviously maybe from a culmination standpoint, that wonderful game one against the Indians in 95, Greg? What did you learn differently as far as your ability to throw postseason baseball?
Mostly nerves. You know, I think nerves go to a next level, at least for me, that first postseason game, really all the postseason games. But I think understanding the blast of adrenaline or the nerves that you're going to get in, you know, late in the year, I think understanding it's part of the game and just go ahead and try to pitch around them or pitch with them. And I think I didn't do it very well in San Francisco, but you know, after that, I kind of was able to have a few good games in the postseason.
A few, yeah. World Series ERA, phenomenal. Did you use the Indian bash attack, you know, the way they were such free swingers and such a good offensive team? Did you use that against them in game one of 95?
Well, it's hard to use it against people, but I mean, you just, the respect for that lineup was very high, and you knew you had to be really good, or you can give up, you know, a 4 spot in a heartbeat against that lineup. So I think, you know, you just really try. I mean, it sounds stupid, but you really just take it one pitch at a time, and you know, you just try to repeat it, you know, till you get your 27 outs. But very good lineup. The scouting reports back then were kind of what they were today. You know, I remember I think I leaned on my brother a little bit because he hit the Indians that year. And, you know, you're getting all this stuff on paper from the scouts and everything. And so you're just kind of sticking with your strengths for the most part. And if you see things during the game, then, you try to adapt as the game goes on.
Well, think about it. That team won 100 games in a 144-game season, and you gave them 2 hits and not an earned run, and you went all the way to set the tone in that World Series. And the Braves needed to win that World Series, as you know. It was about time they won one. And you set the tone there, going all the way, 2 unearned runs, only allowing 2 hits to Albert, Bell, Ramirez. I mean, that's a heck of an offensive team. That is a superb performance. That's got to be probably – I know it's World Series. That's probably got to be one of the best games, and maybe the best game you've ever pitched under the circumstances, right?
Yeah, absolutely. First crack in the World Series, and to have a game like that was pretty special. We had a real good team that year. We played great defense, outstanding teammates, and it took till Game 6. I'm still glad Dave Justice kind of hit that home run. So that kind of took the monkey off our backs, and we got one.
I'm a big Giant fan, and that pennant race in '93, with 103 wins, 104 wins for you, 103 wins for the Giants, one of the great pennant races. I was your first year, wasn't it, in Atlanta?
Yeah.
Maybe your first year in Atlanta. I always thought that pennant race took a lot out of the Braves because you were much better than the Phillies, and I think you went into that Phillies series a little stale. Is that fair to say?
Well, yeah, we were pretty tired after that. I think we were down 8 or 9 games in August, and we went to San Francisco and won a 4-game series, swept a 4-game series, and that kind of got us back in the race. And then we kind of went back and forth the last month of September, and we were a little bit tired going into Philly, but we just didn't get it done in Philadelphia. But it was the last great race.
Last great race.
Yeah,
no wild card. Last great race. Though folks can't forget that. Yeah, great stuff in Game 6, and Jordy hit a ball to right center field. What did he hit that night? Yankee Stadium, Game 6, '96.
Wait, Girardi?
When he hit that ball, the triple up the gap there, you had great stuff that night, and you pitched well, except for that one pitch. What did Joe hit that day?
He hit a high fastball. That was a bad pitch by me. The infield was in. When the infield's in, you got to pitch to your defense. You need to get the ball down, and I didn't. I think he was probably trying to hit a sacrifice fly there, and I missed up with a fastball and ended up hitting a triple. So I think I gave up 2 runs instead of 1. Had I made a better pitch, it probably would have been 1-0, and not 2-0.
Well, yeah, great stuff. I tell you though, watching you pitch was so much fun. I know there's something about watching a guy throwing 100 miles an hour. I'm sure Walter Johnson was fun to watch. I get it. But watching the way you crafted a ball game, in a lot of ways, that's been lost in certain ways. It's not the same, throw the ball as hard as you can, overpower people, then get them out with 2 strikes with the ball in the dirt. You had such a finesse aspect of your game that was fun to watch. Greg, you got to be proud of it. Let me hear some thoughts there. Go ahead.
Well, it's a little different now. I think back when I was learning to pitch, it was try to keep the ball in front of the outfield, and I think today it's kind of let's make them swing and miss. So I think I try to get guys out in the strike zone, and I think the majority of pitchers today try to get hitters out of the strike zone. It's kind of like your strikes are down and your outs are up or in the dirt. But I went ahead and when I got ahead in the count, I always thought the easiest time to get a hitter out was 0-2. So go ahead and make a quality strike 0-2 and force him to hit 0-2. It's the hardest count to hit in, and make them hit and as opposed to make them miss.
Quickly, last thing. Were you almost with the Yankees with Stick Michael before you signed with Atlanta? Go ahead.
Definitely. I thought I was with the Yankees. I mean, it's a long story, but, I went to New York under the impression I was going to sign a contract. And unfortunately, one of the higher-ups had some health issues. They never got around to making an offer. And, going back to Vegas, I had learned the Braves were now interested. And, Atlanta was my first choice. So I liked the National League. I wanted to stay in the National League. Looking back on it, I don't regret it for a second. I got my ring in Atlanta. Had I gone to New York, I might have 4 or 5 more, but that's
got one now. Yeah, you have a good team.
No regrets. Love my time in Atlanta. Things just didn't work out in New York that year.
Great job here with this birthday deal today there, Greg. We'll keep an eye on it. Always a pleasure to talk. Keep up the good work. Appreciate a few minutes here.
Okay, thank you.
You got it. Greg Maddux, the great Greg Maddux. Great to have him with us on his birthday today with his great charity and all those things. Good to have you with us here on High Heat. We'll see you again in a couple days. Stay healthy. Adios.
Can I just say one more thing?
Yes, Greg, please. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I forgot to tell everybody that you can donate on my Twitter. And if you don't have a Twitter, we set up a GoFundMe page. So you can go to that and search Greg Maddux and make your donations right there. And let's see how much money we can make for the people that need it today. I appreciate it.
You were a mad dog before me, Greg. Thanks very much, pal. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. All right, Chris.
Bye-bye. The great Greg Maddux. Nice to have him with us. And we'll see you down the road here on High Heat.